Cole steps forward, the light catching the scar on his cheek. You always did talk too much, Jeremiah. The words cut through the room, low and calm. Jeremiah freezes. The two men turn, hands moving toward their guns, but Cole is faster. Two sharp cracks echo through the air. They drop before they can even pull the triggers. The sound bounces off the walls, fades into silence. Cole doesn't blink. He doesn't look at the body. His eyes stay on Jeremiah. Jeremiah turns slowly, his face pale but proud. Cole, he says, forcing a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. You shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have had to be, Cole answers. The distance between them feels like miles, but it's only a few steps. The kind of steps that change everything. Jeremiah's hand twitches near his hip. Cole doesn't move, but his eyes narrow. Don't, he says. Not yet. Jeremiah exhales, shaky but trying to sound calm. You think this fixes it? You think killing me makes you clean? Cole's jaw tightens. No, but it stops the bleeding. They stare at each other. Two men carved out of the same rough life, both broken in different ways. There was a time when they would have died for each other. Now, they just wait for the other to make a move. Jeremiah laughs softly, a bitter sound. You don't get it, do you? Dwight's using you. He always did. You're just another piece on his board. Cole steps closer. The light flickers again, and their faces come into focus. Jeremiah's, slick with sweat. Cole's, cold and unshaken. Dwight didn't make me pull the trigger on you. You did. The day you sold out your own men. The day you left me standing in that alley, bleeding, while you drove away smiling. Jeremiah opens his mouth to speak, but no words come out. He lowers his hand, fingers twitching. You think I had a choice? Cole's voice drops to a whisper. We all have a choice. You just ran out of good ones. The silence between them feels alive, breathing, watching. The sound of rain hitting the roof grows louder, as if the sky itself wants to drown this moment out. Cole takes another step. The muzzle of his gun glints in the light. Jeremiah's eyes dart toward the side door. He's calculating, searching for a way out. The same way he always did, thinking he could talk his way past death. Don't, Cole says again, quieter this time, almost tired. Don't make me chase you. Jeremiah raises his hands, palms open. You're not that guy, Cole. Not with me. Cole almost smiles. You made me that guy. Jeremiah takes a step back, his heel scraping against a shell casing on the floor. The sound echoes like thunder. Cole raises the gun, steady and sure. For a moment, everything stops. The rain, the humming lights, even the breath between them. The world narrows to two men and one truth. Only one walks out. But Cole doesn't fire. Not yet. He lowers the gun an inch, eyes locked on Jeremiah's. Why? He asks. The word cuts sharper than any bullet. Why did you do it? Jeremiah's mask cracks. Because I was tired of waiting for someone else to give me power, he says, voice trembling. I wanted my own, and you were always in the way. The confession hangs heavy. Cole nods once, as if the answer was all he needed to hear. Then, this was always how it ends. He pulls the trigger. The shot echoes through the warehouse like the closing of a chapter. Jeremiah's body hits the ground, eyes still open, staring at nothing. Cole stands over him, the gun still warm in his hand. He doesn't look away, doesn't speak. The rain outside grows louder, washing away the noise. Washing away everything except the truth. Cole holsters the gun, steps back, and exhales. The silence feels cleaner now, emptier. For a second, he thinks he can hear Dwight's voice in his head. Sometimes you just take the shot. He looks down one last time, then turns toward the door. The city waits outside, wet and indifferent. Cole walks out into the rain, leaving the ghosts behind. But they follow anyway, quiet and loyal, just like they always have. The rain greets Cole like a witness that has seen too much. It falls harder now, hammering against the tin roof, the pavement, his shoulders. The warehouse door swings closed behind him with a hollow clang that echoes into the dark. For a long moment, he just stands there, staring at the ground as water collects around his boots. The gun in his hand feels heavier than it should. He holsters it slowly, as if trying to put the past back into its place. But the past doesn't go quietly. It clings to him, whispering in the back of his mind, the way ghosts do when they realize they've been left behind. Cole starts walking. The streetlights blur through the curtain of rain, turning the world into streaks of gray and gold. His breath fogs in the cold air, each exhale a reminder that he's still alive, that Jeremiah isn't. Somewhere in the distance, sirens begin to wail, climbing higher and sharper, closing in on the echo of his choice. He doesn't speed up. He doesn't hide. He just keeps walking, Calm, slow. The way a man walks when there's nothing left to lose. He cuts through a narrow alley, stepping over puddles that shimmer with the reflection of red and blue lights. Each step feels like a question he doesn't want to answer. Did he do the right thing? Or just the inevitable one? The line between those two has never been clear in Tulsa. Maybe that's why men like him survive here, because they stop looking for right and wrong and start living by balance. You give what you get. You take what's owed. And sometimes, the debt comes in blood. A cat darts across his path, soaked and shivering. Cole stops for a second, watching it disappear into the shadows. He envies it. A creature with no past, no promises, just instinct and hunger. He almost smiles. Then he keeps moving. The warehouse behind him is just a dot now, swallowed by rain and smoke. He can still hear Jeremiah's last words in his head, twisting, replaying. You were always in the way. Maybe that was true. Maybe Cole was the wall between Jeremiah and the empire he wanted to build. But if Jeremiah had gotten what he wanted, Tulsa would have burned all the same. Cole tells himself that as he walks, over and over. Like a prayer he doesn't believe in. He reaches his car, a black Charger with mud splattered up the sides, and leans against it. The rain streaks down his face, mingling with the sweat and grime, washing away nothing. He opens the door and sits behind the wheel, but he doesn't start the engine. The silence inside the car feels heavier than the noise outside. He can see his reflection in the rearview mirror, distorted by raindrops sliding down the glass. For a moment, he doesn't recognize the man staring back. There's something hollow in those eyes, something final. His phone buzzes on the passenger seat. One message: Dwight, it's done. Cole stares at the screen. He doesn't reply. He just watches the words fade out as the screen goes dark again. The silence returns, thicker this time. He knows Dwight will understand without the answer. Dwight always does. That's why he trusts him. That's also why he fears him. He starts the engine. The car growls low, headlights cutting through the rain like two tired eyes. He pulls out onto the empty road, the tires slicing through water, leaving a long trail that disappears as fast as it forms. The city looks half dead at this hour, buildings like bones, streets like veins. He knows every turn, every crack, every back alley that hides a story no one wants to remember. And now, his story has joined them. Another ghost added to Tulsa's long, bloody memory. As he drives, he keeps glancing at the passenger seat. It's empty, but he swears he can still hear Jeremiah's voice there, mocking him, soft and amused. You're not that guy, Cole. Not with me. Cole grips the steering wheel tighter. He wishes he could forget the look on Jeremiah's face in those final seconds. Not fear, not anger, but recognition. The look of a man who understood too late that he'd built his own end. He stops at a red light. There's no traffic, no one around. Still, he waits. The rain drums against the roof, steady and relentless. He leans back in his seat and closes his eyes. For a few seconds, he lets himself drift to a time when things were simpler, when loyalty meant something. He remembers the sound of Jeremiah's laughter at a pool table, the smell of cigars, the clink of glasses. He remembers promises made between brothers who thought the world would always be theirs. Those memories sting now, sharp and useless. The light turns green. Cole doesn't move right away. He looks out at the city, glowing faintly through the storm. Tulsa never sleeps. It just changes masks. The same game keeps playing, only the names change. He knows Dwight will make his next move soon. He knows the balance of power will shift again, and someone else will pay the price. It always goes that way. Finally he drives off. The sound of the engine fades into the rain, swallowed by distance. Somewhere behind him, the police will find Jeremiah's body. They'll find the two guards, the blood, the mess. They'll ask questions, but no one will answer. In Tulsa, silence is its own kind of law. Cole doesn't look back. He doesn't need to. The past has already caught up, sitting quietly in the back seat of his mind. And though he doesn't say it aloud, he knows this isn't the end. This is just the start of a darker road. Dwight will call soon. There'll be another name, another job, another line to cross. But for now, Cole drives into the rain, the city fading behind him, the night swallowing his sins one drop at a time.
The city holds its breath. A name falls like a shadow. Jeremiah Dunmire. And somewhere in the dark, Cole makes a choice that cannot be undone. Cole moves like a secret through the night, steady and calm. The kind of calm that comes after a storm rips through a man and leaves nothing but resolve. The streets feel empty, yet every corner listens. Tulsa glows with a tired light, as if it knows what is coming and wants to warn him. but the warning comes too late. Cole's mind is clear. He has counted the deaths and weighed the lies. He has turned every memory over like cards on a table until only one truth remains. Jeremiah took more than his share, more trust, more men, more hope, and now the balance must be set right. A phone buzzes and stops. Messages pile up, each one a small fire, but Cole does not look. He has cut himself free from every voice that might call him back. Tonight is about the choice. Tonight is about the end of a path that began the day Jeremiah crossed him in broad daylight and smiled like nothing happened. Cole remembers the smile. He remembers the handshake that followed, the same hand that pushed a blade someplace else, the same hand that signed his name under deals that broke bodies and broke faith. He told himself then that business is business. But business turned into nights like this, and nights like this turn a man into something harder than bone. He keeps walking, and the world narrows to simple things: air in his lungs, grit under his boots, the beat in his chest that refuses to run. He thinks of Dwight and the weight of old loyalty. He thinks of how the street teaches one rule before all others: if you do not close the door will close on you. Rain starts in soft dots, a thin veil that turns the city into a quiet painting. Cole lets it wash his face clean of doubt. He has learned that doubt is the last trick a traitor throws your way. Doubt whispers that there is still time. Doubt points to the past and says it can come back. But Cole knows the past is a trap made of better days, and there are no better days left while Jeremiah breathes. He can almost hear the laughter from rooms that smelled like smoke and cheap whiskey. He can almost hear the promise that everything would be fine once the money hit and the heat cooled down. Those promises rotted. They left a cold silence where friends used to stand. Cole sees that silence now, and he steps into it like a man stepping onto a stage he did not ask for, but one that belongs to him. He does not look up at the cameras that might be watching, does not look down at the shadows that cling to his steps. He looks only forward, to the last door, to the last word, to the last breath. Somewhere sirens wail and fade. Somewhere a dog barks and then gives up. The city sinks into a hush so deep it feels like the ground itself is listening. Cole keeps the rhythm of his breath even. He remembers the lessons that kept him alive. Never rush, never boast, never show the cut until it is time. He tastes metal on his tongue, and he knows it is not blood. It is the taste of a promise made to himself, a promise that this ends with truth. The truth is simple. Jeremiah broke the line. Jeremiah thought no one would make him pay. He was wrong. Cole reaches the edge of the night where choices become outcomes. He does not say a prayer. He does not ask for a sign. He does not need one. The rain thickens, and the city lights smear into long silver threads, like time being pulled and stretched and then snapped. In that stretch, Cole sees every face that trusted him, every face that trusted Jeremiah and ended up with nothing. He takes that pain and builds a spine out of it. He takes that fear and burns it for fuel. He lets the last warm thought leave him the memory of a better ending and watches it drift away like steaming cold air. What is left is purpose, pure and sharp. A purpose that moves his feet, steadies his hand, and locks his heart. He is no longer a man walking. He is a decision coming to life. When he finally stops, the world seems to land with him, as if the night itself has reached its final page. Cole breathes once slow, and the breath sounds like a door closing. Somewhere behind that door is Jeremiah Dunmire, and somewhere close to that door lies the point of no return. Cole steps forward, and the city, for one brief second, forgets to breathe. The clock ticks louder in a quiet world. Somewhere beyond the sound, Jeremiah's name floats like smoke, heavy, fading, impossible to ignore. Cole stands at the edge of that silence, a man stitched together by mistakes and memory. The air tastes of rain and rest, of nights spent fighting for a peace that never came. He has walked too far to turn around now. Every shadow looks like a ghost of someone he used to know, and every ghost whispers the same thing: finish it. He remembers the last time he saw Jeremiah alive. The room smelled of whiskey and wet leather. the air thick with the kind of lies that wear fancy clothes. Jeremiah was laughing loud, careless, full of his own legend. The men around him cheered like they were in the presence of a king. Cole watched from the corner, quiet, hands in his pockets, eyes cold. He wasn't jealous. He was tired. Tired of pretending that loyalty still meant something. Jeremiah had crossed a line when he sold out Dwight's shipment, when he handed over friends to the feds just to buy himself another week of comfort. That kind of betrayal doesn't fade, it burns. It leaves marks you can't wash off. Cole saw the truth in that moment. Some men don't die because of their enemies. They die because of the friends they turned into enemies. Now, the streets are empty, but not quiet. Cole's boots echo down the wet pavement, each step heavier than the last. The city feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to break. He moves past the same alley where Jeremiah once pulled him out of a gunfight years ago. The memory hits him sharp. Back then, they were brothers in everything but blood, two men built from the same dirt, chasing the same dream of control, pretending Tulsa could ever belong to them. But somewhere along the way, Jeremiah started building his own throne, brick by brick, lie by lie. And when Cole looked up, he realized the kingdom he helped build had no room for him. Cole stops under a flickering streetlight, the kind that buzzes like it's haunted. His reflection stares back from a puddle hard eyes, a stranger's face. He wonders when he stopped looking human. Maybe it was the first time he pulled the trigger. Maybe it was the night Dwight told him, "You can't save everyone, kid. Sometimes you just take the shot." Cole didn't believe it then. He does now. The truth doesn't make it easier. It just makes it real. Thunder rolls low in the distance. Cole slips a small photo from his jacket pocket, a picture from a barbecue years ago. Jeremiah with his arm around him, both laughing, covered in smoke and grease and hope. The edges of the photo are frayed, water damaged, like everything they once were. Cole looks at it for a long moment, then lets it fall into the gutter. The rain carries it away, the colors bleeding out until only gray remains. He lights a cigarette, the flame small against the night, but steady. Last smoke, he murmurs to no one. He takes a drag and exhales slow, watching the smoke twist into the rain. There's no anger left, not really. Just certainty. Jeremiah made his choices. Cole made his. The rest is just the ending. Far ahead, the warehouse stands waiting, a skeleton of metal and regret. Lights burn faint behind cracked windows. That's where Jeremiah is, laughing again maybe, unaware or pretending not to care. Cole drops the cigarette, crushes it under his boot, and starts walking. The closer he gets, the quieter the world becomes. The rain softens, the wind stops, even the thunder holds its tongue. It feels like the earth itself is stepping aside, making room for what's coming. Inside, Jeremiah's men will be scattered, tired, maybe half drunk. Cole knows their faces, knows their habits. He helped train most of them once. That's what betrayal does. It turns your own lessons against you. He'll move through them like smoke, unseen until it's too late. But Jeremiah deserves more than a quick end. He deserves to see it coming, to look into the eyes of the man who once called him brother and realize he was the architect of his own fall. Cole reaches the door. For a heartbeat, he stands still, hand hovering just above the handle. Not out of fear, but memory. A man doesn't kill his past easily. It has to be done slow, deliberate, like cutting a wire you can't see. He breathes in deep, the smell of oil and dust filling his lungs, and then pushes the door open. The noise that follows is neither loud nor soft. It's the sound of an ending finding its beginning. The door swings open and the past walks in with Cole. The warehouse smells like gun oil and betrayal. Dim lights hang from a rusted ceiling, flickering like dying stars. The floor is wet, stained with old oil, and the hum of a broken generator fills the space like a warning. Cole steps inside, slow and silent, a shadow among shadows. His boots make no sound on the concrete. He has walked into rooms like this before, rooms where the air feels too thick, where you can taste danger in every breath, but this one feels different. It feels final. At the far end, Jeremiah stands with two of his men, his back to the door. His voice carries through the room, smooth and steady, like a man still pretending he's in control. "We moved the product tonight," Jeremiah says. Dwight doesn't get a say anymore. The two men nod, but they keep glancing toward the door, uneasy. They've heard the stories. Everyone has. Cole's name still holds weight in Tulsa, and rumor travels faster than bullets.